For centuries, the galactic sovereignty had ruled the stars. Made up of over 600 advanced alien civilizations, it believed itself to be the center of power, wisdom, and order in the galaxy. New species were discovered often, but they were usually quiet, weak, and eager to join. One day, a strange signal came through deep space. It was from a planet called Earth, located on the edge of the galaxy. The message was clear and polite. We greet the stars in peace. This is Earth, home of the Terran people. At first, the Galactic Council laughed. Earth? A forgotten world with no history in their records. The aliens scanned the planet. No signs of mass star travel. No space colonies. No advanced energy fields. Just a blue and green planet, still using fossil fuels in places. How quaint, they thought. The leader of the sovereignty, Chancellor Varel, stood before the Grand Council chamber on Kalos Prime and made a bold declaration. The humans must join us, but not as equals, as learners under our protection, under our guidance. We will send a formal demand. And so, a message was sent to Earth. You will disarm all space defenses, provide full access to your technology, and accept permanent guidance from the galactic sovereignty. This is a peaceful and generous offer. Refusal is not recommended. The Council expected silence or surrender. Instead, Earth replied after 2 hours with only 4 words, "We accept your terms." The room was filled with silence. For the first time, the Council felt unsure. Why so quick? Why so confident still? They pressed forward. A small fleet of 3 diplomatic cruisers was sent to Earth's solar system to begin the welcoming process. The lead cruiser, GSS Veller, arrived at the edge of the system first. Its captain, an experienced alien named Tavar Nelek, looked out at the blue planet on his screen. Primitive, he said to his second officer, "This will be over quickly." But before his ship could send the landing request, an unknown object appeared near Saturn's rings. At first, it looked like a shadow. Then, scanners picked up movement. Something massive was approaching. It was a ship unlike anything they had ever seen. Its surface was dark gray with sharp, curved armor. It had no visible engine flames, no radiation trails, and no clear weapon mounts, yet it moved with perfect control, sliding through space like a silent wind. On the side, a name was written in bold white letters. TSS Hurricane F. Alien Captain froze. What is that? He tried to scan it, but the system returned static. No data, no readings. It was like trying to scan a ghost. Suddenly, the 3 cruisers' systems went dark. Lights flickered, engines stopped, and their communication links failed. Each ship floated in silence. Then, the screens came back to life. A human face appeared calm, clear, and confident. She wore a dark navy uniform and had short black hair. Her eyes were sharp, but kind. Her name tag read, Captain Juno Cross. She spoke simply, without raising her voice. "Your ships are safe. Please hold position. We will escort you peacefully. Earth welcomes you." None of the sovereignty captains spoke. They were shocked. Their ships, advanced and trusted, had been shut down instantly without harm. But, without warning, it had never happened before. From the command ship of the sovereignty, Chancellor Varel watched in silence. The Terran ship's systems were invisible. Its design was unfamiliar. Its comm power was disturbing. He stood up slowly and said to his advisors, "We may have misjudged this world." Back on Earth, in the Terran Defense Council's underground command room, people were calm. There were no alarms, no panic. An old man in a lab coat smiled as he watched the live feed. "The Hurricane performed better than expected," he said. "And we haven't even shown them the second ship yet." The room shared a quiet laugh. Earth had waited a long time for this moment. They had watched the galaxy, studied it, and remained silent. They had built in the shadows. Now, they were stepping into the light not as students, but as something the galaxy had never seen before. A storm was coming, but it didn't bring destruction. It brought change. The 3 sovereignty cruisers still floated near the edge of Earth's solar system, powered down. Harmless and silent, they had not been attacked. Yet every system on board had been disabled gently, like a firm but polite warning. Inside the GSS Veldor, Captain Tavar Nelek paced slowly across the deck. His crew watched quietly as the image of the Terran ship, the TSS Hurricane, hovered outside the window. It moved with grace and confidence, as if it didn't need to prove anything. "What kind of ship is that?" the communications officer whispered. "It doesn't follow any known design." Nelek didn't answer. He was still thinking about the human who had appeared on the screen, Captain Juno Cross. She hadn't threatened them. She hadn't raised her voice. But her calmness had said everything. This was no accident. Earth knew what it was doing. The silence was broken when the screens inside all three cruisers came alive again. A soft tone played, followed by the same calm voice. "This is Captain Juno Cross of the Terran stellar ship Hurricane. We are returning. Your systems now. Please do not activate weapons or engines. You are safe." One by one, the ships came back online. "Let's return." Gravity stabilized. The crew members looked around in amazement. "She gave us control back," Nelek said. Surprised, they don't want to fight. The crew on all three cruisers received the same message: Earth wanted peace, but also respect. The Hurricane began to move again, slowly turning away from the Sovereignty ships. Its engines glowed a faint blue as it glided toward Mars. Back at the Galactic Sovereignty headquarters, the news had already spread. Every council member, every reporter, every fleet admiral was watching the footage. It was impossible to ignore. The Terrans had just shut down 3 Sovereignty ships, made peaceful contact, and left without damage or demands. It was as if Earth had been waiting for this exact moment. Inside the council chamber on Kalos Prime, panic turned into debate. "This is not natural," one delegate said. "That ship, how is it real? They are not even listed in our technology records. They should not be this advanced," another said. "We need answers. This could change everything." Chancellor Varel remained quiet as the council argued. Then he raised a hand. "Send the footage to all major systems. Let the people see it. We need the truth. And prepare a full fleet. Earth is not what we believe." Meanwhile, on Earth, in a secured command center deep under the Pacific Ocean, the Terran Council gathered. Holograms of leaders from different nations stood around a circular table. Captain Juno Cross appeared in the center. She gave her report calmly, ending with, "We showed strength without harm. They're confused now, not angry. We believe they will respond with a larger fleet." The head of the Terran Council, an elderly woman with silver hair, nodded. "Then we've done well. The Hurricane proved its purpose. Now, the galaxy must decide: do they come to talk, or to test us again?" In orbit above Earth, the Hurricane began to circle slowly, staying within sight of every major observatory in the galaxy. Signals were sent out in hundreds of languages, all with the same message: Earth is open for peaceful dialogue. We ask for respect, not control. Back on Kalos Prime, Chancellor Varel made a final decision. He stood in front of the media and declared, "We will not take action against Earth, but we must investigate. We are sending a formal observation fleet to study their capabilities. This is not war. It is curiosity." And so, across space, 28 Sovereignty ships prepared to leave, not to fight, but to watch. But even as they left orbit, something happened that caught everyone's attention. On one of the outer moons of Jupiter, a hidden structure rose from beneath the surface. It was tall, black, and glowing with soft energy. Cameras zoomed in. Etched on the side were human letters: Project Aurora, Observatory Node 7. The message was clear. Earth had been here, watching the galaxy long before the galaxy had found Earth. In the hearts of many alien leaders, a new feeling began to grow: not fear, but respect. The humans had shown no aggression, but in a single action, they had rewritten the galaxy's understanding of what primitive meant. Earth was no longer just a planet. It was a question, a mystery, a rising storm. And the Hurricane was only the beginning. The Galactic Sovereignty's observation fleet had finally arrived near Eridan Prime, a neutral system between Earth and Sovereignty space. It was meant to be a peaceful meeting point, open, quiet, and far from political tension. 20-8 Ships of various sizes floated in formation. There were carriers, research vessels, patrol ships, and long-range scouts. Each was fitted with the latest scanners and defense tools. Still, none of them could shake the memory of what the TSS Hurricane had done with no effort at all. "This is not a battle mission," Commander Rothenzer, the fleet leader, reminded his crew. "We are here to observe and understand, nothing more." But deep down, Rolthen was nervous. The humans had stayed quiet for days since the cruiser shut down. No threats, no follow-ups, just silence. And that made them unpredictable. Then, at exactly 09:00 Standard Galactic Time, space near Eridan Prime shifted, not shook, not exploded. It shifted as if reality bent inward for a moment. Out of the fold appeared a shape clean, silent, and shining faintly under the light of the systems. Twin suns. The Terran Hurricane-class battleship had returned. The Hurricane came alone. Its arrival didn't cause noise. There was no dramatic energy spike, no flashing engines. It simply appeared, and all the Sovereignty ships suddenly felt very small. The Terran ship drifted toward them slowly, rotating once, almost like a bow of greeting. Inside the Sovereignty fleet, scanners rushed to read the Hurricane again. But, like before, the systems failed to lock on. It was like trying to measure something that didn't want to be measured. One of the younger Sovereignty officers whispered, "Is it really alone?" Commander Rolthen didn't answer. He was too busy watching the monitor. The Hurricane stopped, exactly 1,000 kilometers from the fleet. Then, its hull shifted sections sliding apart in perfect symmetry. What looked like armor panels lifted and repositioned, revealing new shapes beneath. Modules unfolded, panels rotated, engines expanded. Within minutes, the ship had transformed into a new configuration of modular combat mode. Though still not threatening, it was smooth, controlled, like a trained performer showing its costume. Back on Earth, in a secure operations room under the Atlantic Ocean, the Terran Council watched the feed. Beside them stood the architect of the Hurricane program, Dr. Ilan Voss, smiling quietly. "They're trying to understand us," said the Council's lead advisor. Dr. Voss replied, "Then let's give them a puzzle they'll study for decades." At that moment, on the Sovereignty ships, all monitors lit up with a new signal. A holographic image of Captain Juno Cross appeared again. This time, her message was slightly longer. "We come in peace and alone, so no one feels fear. You may scan, record, and observe. But please remember, we share only what we choose." She paused, then added kindly, "You assume we had just arrived, but Earth has been listening for a long time. We waited, we learned, and now we speak." The message ended. Some Sovereignty captains sat quietly. Others looked at each other with raised eyebrows. No threats, no peripheral claims, just confidence and control. Suddenly, something unexpected happened. One of the smaller Sovereignty ships, a scout cruiser, sent out a test signal, a harmless energy wave designed to measure the Hurricane's outer hull. As soon as the wave touched the ship, the Hurricane responded not by shutting it down, but by folding space slightly, causing the wave to bend around it and return harmlessly to the sender, reversed. The scout systems received its own signal back, with a polite message included. "We appreciate your curiosity. Let us help you measure correctly." The Council was stunned. Earth's ship hadn't blocked the scan. It had understood it, corrected it, and sent back better data. "This level of AI interaction, it's beyond our Tier 3 tech," said one Sovereignty scientist, amazed. "They didn't just build smart systems, they taught them to be polite." More surprising still, the Hurricane opened small bays along its side, releasing observation drones. They were small, round, and carried no weapons. They simply hovered nearby, flashing blue lights in simple patterns. Each Sovereignty ship received a direct feed from one of the drones, a perfect, real-time, high-definition view of the Terran battleship from multiple angles. Earth was not hiding anymore. Later that day, Commander Rolthen sent a message to Kalos Prime. "We must update our records. Earth is not a developing species. They are advanced, but more importantly, they are measured. They choose every step, They provoke nothing, but they are never unprepared. As the hurricane began to slowly rotate and display its full system's defensive rings, propulsion modules, and deep space communication towers, it became clear. This was not a warship. It was a statement, a peaceful storm, one that could sweep across the galaxy without firing a single shot, because now no one dared to underestimate Earth again. The Sovereignty fleet hovered quietly at the edge of Earth's system, their ships scanning the blue planet with curiosity and caution. After the surprising display of the TSS Hurricane, the galaxy was eager to learn the truth about this seemingly primitive world. A delegation of diplomats and scientists was sent to Earth, invited by the Terran Council. The meeting was to happen on neutral ground, a specially designed space station orbiting Earth called Harmony Station. Its purpose was simple: to create trust and share knowledge. As the Sovereignty representatives arrived, they were greeted not by soldiers or barriers, but by peaceful and welcoming Terran hosts. The station's halls were bright and filled with greenery. The air was fresh, and soft music played in the background, a far cry from the cold and sterile environments of many alien stations. The lead diplomat of the Sovereignty, Ambassador Xylthar, was amazed. He had prepared himself for tension and suspicion, but what he found was calm and open curiosity. "We want to understand your world," he said during the first meeting. "Your technology, your history, your people." The Terran Council spokesperson, Dr. Mira Callan, smiled warmly. "Earth is not a mystery to us anymore," she said. "We have watched the galaxy for centuries, quietly learning. We built not to conquer, but to protect." Xylthar nodded slowly. "Many of our kind still believe Earth was primitive. This changes everything." Over the next few days, the Sovereignty delegation toured Earth and its orbiting cities. They visited vast underground cities where millions lived in harmony with nature, powered by clean energy and advanced systems. They saw artificial intelligence working side by side with humans, not as masters, but as partners. In the labs, they observed scientists working on quantum communication devices and medical machines that could heal without surgery. In the archives, they found records of Earth's history, times of hardship, of growth, and of unity. One of the most impressive sights was the Terran Space Command Center. Hidden beneath the Pacific Ocean, it was there that the Hurricane-class battleships were designed and controlled. Ambassador Xylthar stood before a hologram of the TSS Hurricane and asked, "How did you build this?" "Your planet was thought to lack the materials and knowledge." Dr. Callan answered simply, "We combined our history with what we learned from the stars. We prepared quietly. We had patience." The delegation was shown other ships, sleek, powerful, vessels ready to explore or defend. None carried weapons meant to destroy life, but all had strong defenses and advanced navigation. Later, during a private meeting, Ambassador Xylthar asked Dr. Callan, "If Earth is so strong, why reveal yourselves now?" Dr. Callan looked at him seriously. "Because peace must be built on truth. We did not want to startle the galaxy, but we cannot hide forever. We offer friendship on our terms." Xylthar understood. Earth was no longer the hidden world. It was a rising power that demanded respect. News of these visits spread fast across the galaxy. Many were shocked by Earth's true nature. Some felt admiration, others fear. Back on Kalos Prime, the Galactic Council held an emergency session. Representatives debated fiercely. Some wanted to offer Earth full membership in the Sovereignty. Others worried about Earth's unknown power. Chancellor Varel spoke last. "Earth is neither enemy nor tool. It is a new chapter for us all. We must learn, adapt, and grow with them, not against them." Meanwhile, on Earth, Captain Juno Cross watched the news from the command center. She knew the galaxy was changing. "Tomorrow," she said quietly, "we begin a new journey, one of peace, but also of readiness." The Hurricane-class ships prepared for a new mission, not of war, but of exploration and cooperation. Earth was no longer hidden in the shadows. It had stepped forward as a guardian of peace, ready to face whatever the stars would bring. And deep beneath Earth's surface, in secret facilities, scientists continued to build wonders that no one And the galaxy could yet imagine. The galaxy had met the Terrans and the story was only beginning. The Galactic Sovereignty ships left Earth's orbit quietly, their sensors filled with new data and many questions. Earth had changed everything they thought they knew about power in the galaxy. Back on Kalos Prime, the council met to discuss the future. The ancient halls were filled with chatter and debate, but now there was a new word on everyone's lips: respect. Chancellor Varel stood before the assembly. His voice was calm but firm. The humans are not conquerors. They are not reckless warriors. They have shown patience, wisdom, and strength beyond our expectations. It is time we recognize Earth as an equal. The vote was unanimous. Earth would be accepted as a member of the Galactic Sovereignty, but not just any member. They would be classified as a Tier 0 origin civilization, a title reserved for species with ancient knowledge and power that influenced the rise of many others. News spread quickly across the galaxy, across star systems, across planets, across space stations. The legend of the Terran Hurricane-class battleship was no longer a secret. It was a symbol of what humanity could do when it chose to unite. Back on Earth, Captain Juno Cross stood on the bridge of the TSS Hurricane, watching the blue planet spin slowly below. The stars stretched beyond an endless dark, and somewhere out there, new friends and maybe rivals waited. Her voice was quiet, but full of hope. We never wanted war. We wanted respect. And now, the galaxy knows who we are. The Hurricane was more than a ship. It was a promise that Earth would protect itself, its people, and any who chose peace. In the days that followed, Earth began sharing knowledge with the Galactic Sovereignty. They offered technology that healed and built, not destroyed. They shared history, music, art, and stories of survival and hope. Slowly, trust grew. In time, alien students came to Earth to learn. Scientists visited Earth's spaceports, amazed at the combination of ancient wisdom and cutting-edge innovation. The galaxy's best minds gathered to study together. One of the most important meetings happened on Harmony Station, where representatives from Earth and the Sovereignty signed the Treaty of Unity, a pledge to explore the stars together and protect peace. At the signing ceremony, Ambassador Xylthar looked toward the Earth delegates. We once believed Earth to be weak. Now, we know it to be wise. Together, we will face the future. Captain Juno Cross smiled. And together, we will be strong. But even with peace in place, Earth remained ready. The Hurricane-class ships continued to patrol quietly, exploring new worlds, helping those in need, and reminding the galaxy that strength was not just in weapons, but in courage and kindness. Deep beneath Earth's surface, new projects were already underway. Scientists worked on energy sources that could power entire planets without harm. Engineers built ships that could travel further and faster. Historians searched ancient records, uncovering secrets of the past and hopes for the future. The galaxy had once underestimated Earth. It had called it primitive. It had laughed. But now, the galaxy waited. Because the storm had a name, Terran, and the Terrans had only just begun.